I initially developed this model at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas as one of 3 pilot programs intended to develop a more diverse collection. The initial goals of that project was threefold. 1, to support BIPOC-owned bookstores. 2, to diversify our collections and ensure we were collecting the materials BIPOC curators and bookstore owners found important to their own communities. And 3, to begin to engage philosophically and ethically with our own role as curators of research that has not always benefited and in some cases actively harmed BIPOC communities. When I took my new role at South Puget Sound Community College, I was eager to develop this model further and found, much to my joy, a team that was also eager to do so. As we reflected on the real and potential harm caused by the research industrial complex, we increasingly saw this work as moving beyond diversity enhancements and into a space that was specifically and intentionally reparative. We were of course aware that our process in no way could undo or truly make up for the harms of bad actors, but we did feel it was important to name and acknowledge that harm, as well as create, wherever possible, processes that were centered on reparative ideals. Our efforts also put us in line with our institutional values, which included expectations of community support and collaboration, intentional efforts to engage in EDI work, and a mandate to engage in work that holds us accountable for the impact of our actions. Because we can draw bright, clear lines between our work and SPSCC values, we have enjoyed significant support from our administration, foundation, and board. In some ways, this model has been easier to enact at a small community college than it was at a large Tier 1 research institution. A smaller staff requires lobbying fewer people to achieve buy-in. We're also a P-card purchase-only institution, which means we can buy from anyone anywhere without additional documentation. And our collections budget is small enough that we were able to commit 100% of our physical monograph collection to this model without overburdening our staff or partner bookstores. That being said, the model is highly scalable and can be easily adjusted for staff and budgets of any size. The limited number of independent bookstores, particularly those owned by historically decentered individuals, means there's a smaller pool of available books to buy. A budget of only $5,000 to $7,000, a tiny sliver of the multi-million-dollar budgets enjoyed by some large institutions, is a manageable amount of hand ordering, cataloging, and processing for libraries, but it has a significant impact on the fiscal well-being of specialist bookstore owners as well as the communities that rely on them. Our process is relatively simple. When a selector identifies an item of interest, they add it to a constantly updating list of to-buy items. In addition to providing the usual order details, selectors also indicate which of our partner bookstores currently has the item in stock. For their convenience, the labels of each column on the order form are hyperlinked directly to each store's search page. Having selectors do this initial search allows our acquisitions and cataloging teammate, Nick, to focus on only the ordering phase. Nick also tries to roughly balance the amount of money we're spending at each bookstore, which our request form automatically calculates for us. If none of our partner bookstores sells an item we need, our next port of call is bookshop.org. Bookshop.org is a network of independent bookstores that sells items from their pooled stock holdings, as well as from Amazon, and directs a portion of the profit of all sales to the account holder's designated bookstore. In our case, we're choosing to support The Loving Room, a Black-owned diaspora bookstore and intellectual salon located in nearby Seattle. When we're unable to purchase items through either our partner bookstores or bookshop.org, we then turn to more traditional vendors. I'll be honest, this process is slower. It trades automation and speed for intentionality and equity-first thinking. It is a disruption of both workflows and the often under-considered system of capitalism that brings books, sometimes labeled and shelf-ready, to our libraries with a single click. Some institutions and individuals also worry that this is political. And here's the thing. It is. Any process that prioritizes equity, inclusion, and diversity over the hidden capitalist values of efficiency, speed, and tradition is inherently political. If you have any questions about how to adapt this process to your particular circumstances, please ask. I'll be checking in regularly throughout the virtual conference to address questions, and I can also be contacted directly through my work email, which is atureen@spscc.edu. That's ATUREEN @spscc.edu. Thank you for stopping by.